this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. Thank you for joining me today. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the UK, and I bring you paper crafting projects, hopefully to inspire you to make your own. This is our card for today. This is our project made with current products from the Stampin' Up range. So if you want to buy anything that I use today in this project, you can go below and click through. There will be links to all the products that I use. Can't remember what any of them are called, unfortunately. I know I'm using Joyful Flurry, but it's not the actual Joyful Flurry, it's one of the dies, although I am using the Happy Christmas set. I can't remember what the dies are called, but they will be linked below. And I think this is called Wintry or something. This I don't know if you can see that. This has got sort of snowflakes and swirls. It's a really pretty embossing folder. I just keep all my offcuts in here because you can see. And what else? And then I'm using these stitch circles, which are from, now I could look this up. I want to say Beautiful Shapes, but I'm not sure if that is the set. They'll be in the back. I've got dies marked. Let's have a look. See if we can quickly find these ones. They're those ones. Stylish Shapes, yes. So they're these, and they're all stitched. They don't show up as being very stitched on the diagram, but they are all stitched. So you've got some fishtail labels, some squares and some circles. Very useful set to have. Right, okay, so let's get started. So we're starting with our normal card blank, which is here, which is 21 by 15 centimetres, and we just need to score that. Oh, where's my trimmer? Where's my trimmer? There it is. We need to score that at 10.5, so that's just every card I make is similar size. It's just about half a A4 sheet if you're in the UK, and that makes an A6 card, which fits really nicely into A6 envelopes. If you're in America or anywhere else, you might have different sizing for your paper, so you might just need to adjust a little bit. There we go. Now we need a white panel that is embossed with this folder. Now it's one of our smaller embossing folders, which is designed to go through our mini cut and emboss. But what I did was I did it in 2 lots to make it a wider section of this. So I'm going to show you how I did that. So here's my piece of cardstock. So I'm going to pop that in there like that. And I'm going to flip over my grid paper, grab my cut and emboss machine. So I'm using the bigger one here because you can't get that big a bit of card through the mini emboss. So let me find my plates. There we go. And you don't need all these plates. Is this a 3D? I think it might be, so I'm going to try it with a 3D. So you just need the thick plate and then the grey plate if it's a 3D one. If it's not a 3D one, it'll go through really easily and I'll need to adjust the sandwich. And of course I could look it up, but I'm too lazy. There we go. Let's see if this goes through. Oh, it's catching. No, it's fine. There we go. So pop that through there. And then we want to, can you see that that's only hasn't embossed this bit, so we want to emboss that bit. So it's really important that I don't get that bit, the bit that I've already embossed under the embossing folder, otherwise it'll be flattened. So will that go through? Not quite. Will it go through this way? Oh, it might. I'm going to do it that way. There we go. So just like that, and then that will emboss the whole panel, so you get a larger panel emboss. So I'm just going to do it to there, just in case I squash it as I go through. And that should work okay. There, perfect. Yeah, so there you go. You get a bit more use out of your embossing folders because you can make a bigger panel. Right, while I've got my cut and emboss out, I'm going to take my stitch circles and I'm going to take a piece of Pool Party, and I'm going to take a piece of, yeah, that is just a bit big. I wasn't sure that was big enough. So this one, so if I take my card again and just check, that's the one that I need to do in white. So that will go through on there. And then the slightly bigger one is the one that I need in Pool Party. I'm doing this in Pool Party. I did it in Smoky Grey, my sample one, but I'm doing it in Pool Party because I think that's quite a nice colour for Christmas as well. Just so that you know. Right, so that is going through on there. I'll do them separately actually, otherwise I'm going to mess it up. So that one goes through like that. So a little bit of die cutting here, but if you wanted to batch these, make these in mass production, you could do all the die cutting at once and then do the put the card together, and that would make it quicker. So you know, you could just be sitting and doing a whole load of these die cuts. Right, so that's my circle cut, and then what I need to do with that circle cut, sorry, this is really clonking today, my machine. So put that to one side, and then this die fits in perfectly in that circle. So just take the die, and it doesn't cut out the whole snowflake, it cuts it out so it can be made 3D. So just position your die in the center there, just get it nice and centered, and then pop that through like so. And there, so there we go, got that. Isn't that pretty? So beautiful. Okay, so we can put our cut and emboss machine away. That's all the cutting and embossing we needed to do today, and we can start putting our card together. So our panel at the cut is currently going to be too big because I've cut the panel the same size as the card. So I want to cut it down a centimetre smaller because I've got about, actually it's not quite half an inch, half a centimetre, but I'm going to make this one half a centimetre. So I'm going to cut it down to 10 by 14 and 10 by 14. No, I'm not. 9.5 by 14. So I'm just going to cut off a bit here. So it's going to be a full centimetre smaller than my card blank, which means I'll have half centimetre borders. And line that up. There we go. And that is going to go onto here, like so. There we go, lovely. So a bit of Tombow. Just a little bit of spreading out of the Tombow, just to make sure we've got a nice thin layer of glue that's not going to ooze out of the sides and spoil anything, but that is going to glue it right down, right to the edges. So this is what we call it in the UK, a cocktail stick, but I know you could probably call them toothpicks in America, the USA. Not sure about Australia or Canada or anywhere like that. There, that will do. And then that goes onto here, like so. There we go. And then we are going to mount our die cut snowflake onto our circle. Now we need to be a bit careful where we're going to glue this, because we don't want to glue any of the bits that are going to raise up. So we can go round and raise all those up. We want to be really clear about where we want to put the glue so that we get this 3D effect of our snowflake. Like so. There we go. And then these middle bits are going to come up as well, so I'm not going to put glue though. I've missed one out. Let's do this one as well. That's cut right to the border, so that's coming apart, but it won't matter when we stick it down. Just do that one. Right, so a little bit of Tombow. So I can do a little bit in the middle here, just to hold the centre down. And then a little bit, just bits around the edge. Oh, it doesn't want to come out. Just want a little bit of glue. I don't want to use too much because it will be overkill. Tiny bits of glue. I could use my fine tip glue applicator for this, really. That might have been better, but that will do. There we go. And that is going to go centrally in our circle, like so. There we go. I'm just going to leave that to dry to one side a minute while I do our Happy Christmas. So I've just got a little bit of Whisper White, and we need to mount our Happy Christmas stamp. It's been a long time since we've had a Happy Christmas stamp from Stampin' Up, so that's quite nice. Like so. And I'm going to just grab my pool party, which I've put away for some reason, excuse me. There we go. So just stamp, that's fine. That's going to go on there. I might stamp it one more time just to see if I get a better impression. It wasn't a bad impression, but that's better. Happier with that. Right, okay, and then we're just going to trim that down. So let's just trim that bit off. And then trim along here. Perfect. Trim along here. Just leaving a little bit for overlap because it's going to tuck under my my circle. Actually, I'm going to turn that round, do it that way. There we go. It's a little bit easier. And then, oh, get up. There we go. Get rid of that. There we go. That's our Happy Christmas. Could do it this way round this time. Should we do it that way round? Should we change things up a little bit? Could do, couldn't we? So this end I'm just going to trim into a point. I'm going to do it by eye. If you're not quite sure you can do it by eye, you could measure like so. And that is going to go there, and then this is going to come on top. So I'm going to put a tiny little pencil mark where I want the end to go, and then put some glue on here. There we go. Smooth that out a little bit, make sure we've not got any great big blobs of glue going on. There we go. Like so. And then this panel is going to glue there, so it's the other side, but I think that's fine. I don't think it matters which side it goes on. There we go, and just grab our cocktail stick again. Don't have to do this, it's a little quirk of mine. Don't often see other demonstrators doing it, but hey ho, that's what I like to do, so I give it to you in all its glory. There we go, and that's our card. Now of course we could put a panel inside. I don't think I've done it with this one, but I think I might with this one. So let me just grab another panel. So I don't know whether I've told you, I tend to have this box of Whisper White, and I tend to cut a load of panels at first so that I've always got them. They're always slightly too big, but that's fine because sometimes you want to trim them down. So we're going to trim this down to the same size as this one. So we're going to do it 14 by 9.5. So 9.5 this way. Yeah, I just cut up A4 sheets into 4, and then I have a whole load of panels to use. I do it with the normal Whisper White. The thick Whisper White I tend to cut into card blanks, so 15 by 21, so that they're ready to use. I do get through a lot of Whisper White cardstock. So this is going to glue into here, but before we glue it, we're just going to do a little bit of stamping with some of the snowflakes from here. So I'm going to mount up. Got a lot of bits and pieces in here. What should we do? This one? Maybe this one and this one. Would that be enough? Yeah, just two. Might just do 2 snowflakes. So I'll mount them up on blocks. And just to carry the theme through into the middle of the card, which just makes your handmade cards just that little bit more special. So we'll just do that one there. And what I might do is just do 2 little ones up here. That's it. And then I've got my 3. As you know, I do like to work in 3s, so I've got my 3 there. And that's all that's going inside. And of course it all coordinates beautifully because the pool party is exactly the same colour. And then that is just going to go inside. And then we are done. I just need to make another panel for the smoky grey one. But I won't do that on camera. You don't need to see me doing it twice. So I hope you're all well on with your Christmas crafting. I'm again quite late, but I don't know, I can't get into Christmas crafting really when it's really hot temperatures in the summer. Actually, here in the UK, although it's November, we've had really high temperatures. It's really mild. It's a bit worrying really because it's confusing all the plants and the animals. We really haven't had a cold snap yet, and usually by the middle of November we would have done. So it is a bit of a concern, but actually it's quite nice in some ways. Right, there we go. That's enough of me rambling. Which one do you prefer? The one in Smoky Slate or the one in Pool Party? I deliberately haven't added any gems or anything, but you could add a gem in the middle there if you wanted to. I'm not adding one because they tend to get squished when they go through the post in the UK, so I want to be able to send these cards as flat cards. I know the snowflake will get squished, but if I want to send these as Christmas cards, I don't want anything bulky on them. That's it from me today. Thank you so much for watching. It's Joyful Flurry is the stamp set. Joyful Flurry will be the name of the bundle. Can't remember what the dies are called at the moment. What's the good news is that Stampin' Up are soon going to start naming the stamp set, the bundle and the dies with the same name so that we won't have to remember different names, which will help my memory if nothing else. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that project. Hope you might give it a go, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Oh, crashed.